lost them. Have you got the briefcase? It's right here. Is that all? It's two-player. Excellent.
Fugitive is a tense two-player cat-and-mouse hidden movement deduction style game where one player takes on the role of the Marshal as they try to catch the other player who takes on the role of the Fugitive as they seek refuge in various hideouts as they try to make their getaway. The goal of the game is for each player to try and satisfy their unique win condition. The Marshal is trying to guess and uncover all of the hideouts that the Fugitive has been at before the Fugitive can get away, whilst the Fugitive is trying to place hideouts and deceive the Marshal and try and get to card number 42 before the Marshal can catch them. A game of Fugitive begins with the Marshal taking the notepad and marker and the Fugitive taking cards 1 to 3 and 42. Players sort out cards based on their ranges as indicated on the hideout board and shuffle each pile. The Fugitive draws a starting hand, 3 from the 4 to 14 deck and 2 from the 15 to 28 deck. The hideout card 0 is placed face up for all players to see and is the starting location. On the Fugitive's first turn, they play 1 to 2 hideout cards from their hand. Hideouts can only be placed based on the following requirements. They're placed face down, in ascending order, and must be 1, 2, or 3 more than the previous hideout card played. The Fugitive can extend the range of the distance of the hideout by playing sprint cards underneath the hideout card. On the Marshal's first turn, they draw 2 cards from any deck and guess a hideout location. If the Marshal chooses to guess multiple locations, they must guess them all correctly for them all to be revealed. Play alternates between the Fugitive and the Marshal as they take turns drawing cards, with the Fugitive placing and the Marshal guessing hideout locations. Ultimately, this is a great game of maths and probability, as well as a test of how well you know the other player. So all you can tell me about this Fugitive is that they were carrying a briefcase and a deck of cards numbered from 1 to 42. Anyone have any idea where this Fugitive was last seen? Well, according to the footprints that we found, I've deduced that the Fugitive must have stopped at the hideout on 27th Street. Once players have thoroughly played the base game of Fugitive, they can try out some of the game variants that use the event cards to change the game up. Some event cards aid the Marshal, some assist the Fugitive, and some are neutral. Oh! If you're someone who loves the constant feeling of anxiety or simply love the thrill of the chase, then the role of the Fugitive is for you. It's really important as the Fugitive that you plan ahead, and also it's crucial that you use those sprint cards both deceptively and wisely. Sometimes you can sneak a few extra of those sprint cards underneath a particular hideout to make the Marshal think that you've actually sprinted further ahead than you actually have. That's a really good trick to have up your sleeve, and speaking of tricks, it's time to probably go now. If you're someone who stands for social justice, upholding the law, or simply a fan of deduction, then the role of the Marshal is for you. It's really important as the Marshal to make notes of everything that the Fugitive does, including which pile they draw from, which cards they check when you make a guess, and also how they're playing their sprint cards. Revealing a hideout with sprint cards underneath really allows you to cross off all of those hideouts that the Fugitive is currently not at. Using that particular hideout, you can work forward and backwards and use a little bit of maths to try and calculate where the Fugitive might have been. As the Marshal, you can draw lots of cards early on the game from the third pile so that you can create this massive roadblock or gap so you can make it really hard for that Fugitive to get to that 42nd card. What I really find intriguing about Fugitive is its beautiful gameplay and escalating game tempo, where each game usually ends with a really tight finish. I like how each role feels really different, yet very balanced. The game is light, easy to teach, very portable, and plays in under 15 minutes. I like the variation that the event cards introduce after you've played the game a few times. I like how you have to know each player's strategy and certain playstyle in order to win. Some points to consider is that this game is strictly only for 2 players only, and without the event cards, the game can feel a little bit samey after a while. So in considering my final verdict, is this 2-player game worth your time? Absolutely. This small game is chock-a-block, full of value, so much fun and so much depth. It is so portable that you can play this game on the train, in the car or while on your holidays, and you're bound to not be disappointed by the engaging choices that you make and the deductive gameplay, especially if you like other deduction games. Oi! Stop that fugitive!